What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Peru Travel Podcast. I'm your host, David Kozlowski. Alongside of me is Charlie Thompson, and today we're going to talk and brag about why Cachi's tour guides are the best in the biz.
We are back, baby. Feels good to be back.
That's right. Back home. Guess who's back?
Back again.
So here's the thing. We're going to brag a little bit because it's not us, and we can do that. It's okay. We don't necessarily hire these people. These aren't people that we hire. We work very closely with David, who we spoke of multiple times, a blog post about him. David is our owner, if you will, in Peru, and David hires these people. Now, we're going to brag about the people he hires and why Cachi is one of the best travel agency groups right now in Peru. And I'm being cocky in saying that, but it's the damn truth. And I'll tell you why it's the truth.
It is. It absolutely is the truth.
When we were in Peru this last trip, we told David on our trip, our adventure, we did what we call the Extreme Inca Tour, okay? Everyone else has a different name for theirs. We call ours the Extreme Inca Tour because we're different.
Can we talk about that real quick? Because that tour was unbelievably
It was
amazing.
incredible. I don't know how we could talk about it, though, unless we got to show them. You know what I mean?
Well, this is something else that we're adding to the website.
It's on there.
It's on the booking, but the details are coming soon.
That's right. They're coming soon.
It's first of all, you start out at over 15,000 feet and you bike all the way down a mountain.
You literally sit on a bike.
I felt like a 12-year-old kid again, and it was just so awesome.
It was like being reborn. But the thing is that when we did this tour, we wanted to make sure that specific aspects of it allowed us to sort of connect with other tour groups. Why? Because we want to do some case studies, right? Why does the guy who, and thank you for smoking, sit and coach, right? It's because he wants to convince people to start smoking cigarettes. He's like, I want to know what my demographic is, right? So we went in and we were like, hey, we want to be with other groups if possible at some times throughout our trip. So the first day of our trip, we did whitewater rafting, and we instantly, Charlie and I are pretty social butterflies, so we instantly met some groups. I met a group from San Francisco, I met a group from, where were they from? They were from New England area, Boston, I want to say.
And the group I met was from New York.
They originally from San Francisco, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, actually, my group was from Canada. We're mixing up places. Anyway, there were so many people that we met.
Actually, we met a lot of people.
We did.
But these two groups were very important because they gave us a lot of information, some things that we just couldn't believe were happening. So that's what we're going to talk about, and that explains why Cachi's the top-notch place to go with.
That's right. And on top of that, really, I think it just comes down to giving a care. I almost said a bad word, but we care.
Right.
That's really, at the end of the day, what it comes down to. Like, these people genuinely, these people just don't care. Like, most people just don't care. Yeah. I think that's really the biggest thing. They see you guys as paychecks. They see the travelers as paychecks, and that's just not the case. Like, here's the deal. At the end of the day, we charge adequately so that way our employees get paid a great rate to be able to support their family and continue to progress, to put their kids through school, put their kids through college. You gotta understand, school systems in Peru are a lot different than the United States. People don't just get to go down the street to the local, high school. Sometimes they got to send their kids off to other cities and pay for dorms and things of that nature to have an education. I digress. We're not going to go into that deep, but that's what we're dealing with here, okay? We got to make sure that we're supporting the locals so they can continue to grow and develop. So that being said, all of our guides speak English, and if they don't, they're shadowing somebody. I might add that here because I forget to mention this too. We have a program that's in place that basically allows other guides to shadow, to learn better English, to grow while they're in school and things of that nature.
It's like an internship,
essentially,
but it's a paid internship.
Exactly.
So these assistants come on board to learn the Cachi way, if you will. The standard has been set by David. David in Peru, our guide manager, the guy who owns it in Peru, he set the standard of the quality that should be presented, and it's because in life you get what you pay for, right? But not only that, but we believe that if you take care of people, they'll take care of people for you too.
That's right.
So, and that's just the way the world works.
Absolutely. They care a lot about you guys. I mean, they care a lot about every traveler that travels with us. But that being said, do we want to start with the good or the bad? Do we want to start with the Cachi, or do we want to end? I think we end with the Cachi. What do you think?
Let's end with the Cachi.
We're going to end with the Cachi. All right. So here, we met a group, Kevin and Kara. We won't name any names, or just initials, Kevin and Kara. We met a group, Kevin and Kara. We met another group of two guys that are from Canada. Wonderful gentlemen. I didn't even get their names, I didn't even get their emails. But these two guys, they're been dating for about 15, 16 years, something like that. They've been dating for a long time. I'm surprised they're not married. Came there from Canada, and the first thing they say to us is, as I talk to them, I say, hey, I look back and I'm like, hey, where are you guys from? Chit-chatting. I was like, so how's the trip been so far? He's like, well, the second that we arrived, our tour guide didn't speak English. So we have absolutely no idea what's going on, and we're just kind of being sent by the way of like, using our hands to communicate. That's one issue. Okay, we've got plenty more. So that's mind-blowing in itself, the fact that the person doesn't even speak English.
And while you're having that conversation, now, like, look, I'm a social butterfly, but I just so happen to be wearing my American flag swim trunks because we were going whitewater rafting. And that's just what I happen to bring, I'm kind of proud of where I come from. And so actually, Kara, this other couple that we met, she ended up breaking the ice, and she was like, where are you from? Ha ha. And I was like, oh, I'm from England, obviously, just joking around with them. And so we got to talking, and the first thing they said is their guide spoke a little bit of English, but they literally just dropped them off and gave them bikes and said, here you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Figure it out.
You're at the top of a mountain right now, and cars are whizzing by you, and they gave them bikes, and they're like, have fun. See you later. Like, what? Like, there's so many things wrong with that situation. This is the part where I get stressed out because I'm like, this is not supposed to happen. Like, you paid good money to do something, and now they're just like, hey, see you later, man. Have a good day. So besides that, they end up biking down by themselves. We all hop in this bus, and we go whitewater rafting. Probably the better experience for these people. But then we start talking about their hotel, and I get to asking questions, They're like, actually, I didn't even ask questions. What I had said was, I can't wait to get back and take a hot shower. That's all I said. I want to get back and take a hot shower.
Yeah.
And
who doesn't want to take a nice hot shower after whitewater rafting?
That's right. And I'm going to message or phone call my fiance. Canadians look back and say, you got Wi-Fi? I said, well, my phone has service, but I'm using the hotel Wi-Fi. And they're blown away that I have Wi-Fi. Like, you have Wi-Fi? It's like this big ordeal. Charlie's is a different reaction about their bed and, their shower. We'll get to the bed in a second. Their shower, they're like, you have hot water. They're freaking out. They're blown away. And as we start to talk about the hotel room, we start to realize like the bed that they're sleeping on has mold on the pillows. The Canadians have cockroaches in their room, bugs everywhere. So we're literally, we've got, what was her name? Deanna, yes. Deanna. We've got Deanna cooking us food, hooking us up with pisco sours, making sure, like, literally we thought that we had, Kevin and I, again, full transparency here, okay? We picked this hotel. This is the hotel we send all of our guests to. The first city that you enter in is Santa Rosa. When you enter in Santa Rosa, and this is the hotel that we pick, right? So the hotel that we pick is a newer hotel, and Kevin and I thought that we saw bed bugs. Okay. Cha-ching, right? Like, we got very, very nervous that we saw bed bugs. And I'm not going to put this hotel on blast because literally when we looked, we couldn't find any. There's going to be bugs once in a while. The room,
it was all in their head.
Yeah. I saw bugs, right? But I've never seen bed bugs. And Kevin had claimed that he saw one too, but he only saw one. And, who knows really what the situation was. But the point is that she handled it very, very appropriately. No big deal. Let me switch you guys rooms. We opened up the next room, opened up the beds, nothing there. In fact, she gave us even a bigger room, which whatever. You're going to have to lower your expectations a little bit in these smaller towns because the hotels are not your 5-star hotel, if you will. They're very, very small, like motel-ish. But either way, it was beautiful. The room was great. We slept fine. Woke up the next morning. Wasn't a big deal. And then we're on to day number 2 of the trip.
I just want, first of all, at this hotel, though, I want to speak highly of Deanna because she made us meals, but like really good meals. Like, a lot of it was Peruvian food, but then she gave us like a whole half a chicken with like the leg and the thigh and everything. And it was like cooked very well, seasoned amazing. It was a really, really good meal.
Yeah, she was great. And Charlie even forgot his flip-flops, and she walked us through the town. She was gonna actually go by herself.
She was.
And we were like, no, we're going to walk with you because we feel horrible. She walked us through the town, helped negotiate prices for flip-flops for Charlie, so that way he didn't have to go barefoot because he forgot his in Cusco. I mean, the service, again, it comes down to this level of like, Are you going to take care of people because they're going to take care of you? Yes, I'm going to. And that is the experience that we had, is that these people were really glad we were there. In fact, people would try to come eat dinner with us, and Deanna was like, no, leave. You know, like, you're not able to eat here. You didn't, you know, they just didn't take care of the service that well, and they were rude, or they felt like they were expecting something. And that's just not how people operate typically. And
our guide stayed with us.
That's right. Oh man, our guide who spoke English just so happened to stay in the hotel with us.
Yeah, you're going to experience the same thing.
Yeah, your guide's going to experience the same thing as you. Our guide did not leave our side, and we'll talk more about that coming up. In fact, he was the only guide on the whitewater rafting. The guide will go with you to whitewater rafting. He may not necessarily get in the boat with you, but he will guide you through there. He'll translate for you if needed. But he's going to hold your hand every step of the way. You're never going to feel alone. You're going to be with your best friend, whoever that is that's with you. In this case, on this specific tour, we're probably going to have Frank, who's David's brother. Great guy, super funny, got lots of jokes. And yeah, you're going to have a good time. Which brings us now to day number 2. We wake up, we eat great breakfast, we get in the van, and we take a drive down a dirt road, as all of a sudden we look to our left and we look to our right, and there they are. The group that we just talked to the night before, walking a long ways, mind you, to get to the trailhead.
Yeah, they walked down this really busy, dirty bus road and probably hiked for, I would say, close to an hour.
Yeah, I'd have to say close to an hour.
Just to get to the trail, whereas we were taken to the trail.
That's right. We were taken to the trailhead, and it's dirty, and that's what even David said. David's like, you know, I was talking to Frank, and there's really no reason for people to hike down this. We'll pay the extra 20 soles to get you guys down to the trailhead because this is dirty. You're going to get filthy, and there's really no need for it. It's wasted time. It's wasted energy.
It's not even a pretty hike. You're walking down a gravel road.
Right. Absolutely. So on top of that, then we go into the next part of the day where we get to meet up with these beautiful folks one more time. And that is on day...
That was on day 3, and it was in Santa Teresa at the hot springs.
So yeah, we run into the guys again on day 3 and hear some not so amazing stories about their hike and their experience. Now, nobody spoke English and didn't really help them through anything. Because there's all these little places to stop in at that have monkeys. They've got birds that speak Spanish. It's awesome. And nobody spent time to like explain to them who they are. Well, meanwhile, David is talking to the locals, teaching us how you make coffee, how you roast the beans, talking about the monkeys, talking about the parrots, like having a great time. And mind you, what David is doing, and this is full disclosure. Every place that we stopped, David made us purchase a water or a popsicle or a drink or a brownie or whatever the case is. And you want to know what? He's doing it because he wants to help his fellow people. These people thrive on tourism. Okay. They survive on that, and everything else is just a bonus. So making coffee, doing farming, things like that. So you want to know what? You're probably going to buy a lot of drinks, but bring some extra cash. Literally 50 soles will go a long way on this hike, right? Or in general, when you're going on these tours, 50 soles, David's going to negotiate good prices for you, and he's going to make sure that people get taken care of.
50 soles is not very much money. That's $30.
Yeah. It's not much.
Not even $30. It's $20.
Yeah. That being said, then we get from the hot springs, we go the next day. We stay in our nice hotel. That was really nice, actually. Really warm water, got Wi-Fi in the lobby. We wake up in the morning and we go zip lining. Okay. Pretty awesome. David takes us to the zip lining. Other guides, non-existent. Don't know where they are, but David's with us. David's holding our hand. Now he doesn't do the zip lining, but we go have fun. We zip line, have a good day. We talk a little bit more with Kevin and Kara. We talk a little bit more with, our other friends that we met from Canada. And then all of a sudden we get to Machu Picchu, our last day, after we hiked a long ways to get to to get to Aguas Calientes, which, man, I'm not going to lie. Aguas Calientes at the hotel that we stayed at, I could stay there for probably 3 or 4 days. The sleep was amazing next to the river. It sounded so beautiful and everyone stays in this hotel. And I can't stress how beautiful it was. Now,
and the beds were incredible.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it comes down to, right? Like the beds were great. Like it's not like it's like this, it's a city, right? It is, but just the ocean, it sounds like the ocean, just the river and just the idea of like the wind blowing through the room and like just this gorgeous, I don't know what it is. It was just something about it was beautiful for me.
It was. That was by far probably the best hotel experience we had the entire time. I mean, all the places we stayed were fabulous. Even the Airbnbs we got in Cusco, but this place in Aguascalientes, like David hooked us up. And this is like same places you guys will go.
Yeah, exactly. So we get to Machu Picchu that next morning, and here's where the real fun begins. We find Kevin and Kara, and we got to get one of them on the show, actually, to tell this story a little bit differently than us. And we're like, hey, where's your guys' guide? And they're like, man, we woke up at like 4 a.m. We hiked all the way up this mountain because they didn't get a bus ticket to go up. So you can take the hike if you want to. That's an option. I ain't going to do it at 4 a.m. I'll tell you that right now. I'm going to take the bus up, spend the 20 soles or whatever round trip.
Well, yeah. I mean, we already hiked 40 miles by this point.
And this is all included. Everything that we're talking about price-wise, except for the drinks at the little towns, is all included. So this bus trip is included. We pay for it. You know what? If you don't want to take it, you want to do the hike, go ahead and do the hike. Be a macho man. That's fine. Do what you got to do. I'm here to see Machu Picchu that day, and I'm here to be able to enjoy it. They do the hike. They get up there. Guess what? Tour guide, not there. They paid for a tour guide to tell them about the history of Machu Picchu and things that went on in Machu Picchu, the toilet, the all the different spiritual things that goes on there, and their guide's gone. So what do they end up doing?
Well, first of all, they actually found someone else, and they paid someone else extra money to kind of walk them through a little bit of Machu Picchu. But then they found us, and they were like, hey, do you mind if we tag along and listen to David, tell us more about Machu Picchu? Because they didn't get the information that they wanted. They didn't get any history or education or like why the Incas built Machu Picchu or what these certain things were. They didn't get any of that. So they actually paid someone extra to walk them through some of it. And then they came to us and were like, hey, do you mind if we tag along and ask David questions? Like, it was just it was unbelievable, but I'm really glad that they were able to experience everything that David had to offer. This is where, we're bragging on our guides again, because they're top notch. I mean, they don't leave your side. They don't leave you hanging. They explain everything thoroughly. They know. I mean, David's been doing this for over 20 years. Like, this is his home. He loves it. He loves the Andes. This is a huge passion. You go to our Facebook, our Instagram, you see a picture of David cheesing it. I mean, cheesing it on the trail because he loves this so much, and that's what you're going to experience.
Yeah, I think the big thing here too is like our guide's going to hold your hand the entire way. He's going to be with you. He's not going to leave your side. You're going to be with him. He's going to know where his group is at all times. I mean, if you want to sleep in and you don't want to show up, that's on you. But at the end of the day, our guide is flexible. He wants you to have a great experience in Peru, because who knows if you're ever going to come back. Most people aren't going to be like us, and they're not going to come back. And that's okay. We're not offended by that. The point is that you're there once. Make the most of it. Make that adventure. Get to the top of Rainbow Mountain. Do what you need to do. I'm looking at you with that Rainbow Mountain because you almost didn't make it.
That's right.
I'm saying, though, you're there once. Make it happen. Do you. Do what's best for you. So when you leave and you go back home, you say, man, I made the most of that trip.
And you don't want to pay. You don't want to pay for something and be like, God, I wish it could have been different. You don't want to regret it. Like David said, you're probably going to go to Peru once. This is more than likely a once-in-a-lifetime trip. So
make the most of it.
Make the most of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And get what you know you're worth. Enjoy it. If you want to learn the history of Machu Picchu and things like that, make sure that you are booking with somebody like Cachi that has the guides, that has the experience. If you want to pay less money and go with somebody that's just going to drop you off, that's fine. You can do that.
Yeah, you're going to get what you pay for. That's for damn sure.
But we don't recommend. We recommend having somebody walk you through the history, so you come away from Peru and you're just like unbelievably amazed. You don't walk away from Peru with a lot of questions.
Here's a testament to that, though. And the point that we're talking about is that Kevin and Kara, that same group, ended up booking a trip with us their last day. So it goes full circle, right? They booked the trip with us afterwards. And then we've actually got some people that we talked to that have amazing testimonials, and we're going to get them on the show. That is our goal in the next month, is to get people on the show to tell you how awesome our trips are compared to what they heard from other people, and get people on the show who did both. Kara and Kevin, I would love to get them on to explain what it was their first time with a group, and then what it was like. And we're not going to bash any company names. You want to do the research, go out there and do it. I got two things for you right now. Okay. One is, you want to pay less money, go ahead and do it. You're not going to get the best service. And number two, maybe or maybe not, they are in fact paying their guides, paying the people that work for their company, the locals, good enough money to survive. And that's the key thing. They're probably paying just enough to survive, and we're doing better than that because we care about these people. We want them to grow. We want them to develop and keep moving forward.
Yes, trust us. We know the numbers, and they're paying them less
Yeah, absolutely.
Not great. We're not going to mention any names, like we said, but it's not good. It's just not good. It's not fair.
Exactly. It's like if you got a tour here in the United States and it's $20 and you're paying, or charging $23, what, $3 going to go to me to take this group out? That's horrible. Anyway, ridiculous. I digress. We need to not get into a rant of that. We're sitting at about 20 minutes, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today at the Peru Travel Podcast. Hit us up, CachiLife.com, CACHI. Hit us up on Instagram, Cachi Life. Hit us up on Facebook. We don't have a lot of Facebook followers for whatever reason, so hit us up on Facebook. Shoot us a DM if you want. You got questions, you got concerns, you just got random talking points. We'll say, hey, Dave, guess what? I hate your voice. Message it to me. I want to hear it. I want to see you live and in color, okay?
Tell them. Critique them.
All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us again today. We appreciate you. Have a good drive into work or wherever it is you're going, and I hope to see you or hear from you in Peru very soon. Take care.